Are you ready?
I'm all good, brother.
Okay. And we already on TikTok?
I'm just signing on now.
Okay, I'll wait. But yeah, I just found out that TikTok automatically records it. You just got to go in and you can find it.
Yeah,
Just like,
I'll wait till
I
some
usually
people.
can rewind it.
I'll wait till some. Yeah, people are showing up now, so I'm gonna hit the record.
okay.
I'm sorry I'm getting a beep occasionally. It's my truck.
Oh.
I named her Karen.
Oh, Karen beeping.
Very picky. Very picky. My truck is a liberal. She's part of the POA.
Oh, goodness.
Hello, TikTok.
So we're ready?
We're ready, Ron.
Okay, hold on.
Call recording is on.
Hey, this is Ron Anthony, and I am on live on TikTok. Didn't know I was going to be live on TikTok with, the real JFK Jr. And I have two guests that's really just, they knock your socks off. Funny, loving, kind. These are my brothers. That's Happy and Bob. Man, thank you for being on here, especially on the JFK TikTok site. So what we're going to be talking about is really hashing this thing out. We want to know, we've been supporting, David, JFK Jr., and I'll just let you all take it from here. There's a lot of questions that people are asking, and I would like to start with Happy. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I come out of the energy conservation industry, helped develop a major part of what's known as the National Green Incentives and the HUD Department of Energy Weatherization Program. After completing the science phase of it, I got blacklisted hard. Found out why after several years of digging and investigating, and have unraveled probably the largest criminal investigation of a public sector theft in world history, not only within our country, but worldwide, leading into the carbon taxes and all the global warming funds. And I have provided for approximately $25.8 trillion to be seized.
Wow. So that's some deep stuff, man. So you can contribute in a lot with this and bringing the truth out, and how we're moving with this movement to really let the people know, what's really going on. What about you, Bob? How can we? What have you been doing, and how do you play a part in this?
Right. I was mayhap on social media. Amazing how our paths cross. The Lord brings certain people together for a purpose and for a fight. And I told my kids years back. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but this world is upside down, crazy. Government, I believe, was a big part of it, the culprit, and this world's heading in a bad direction, and I feel I'm going to be a general in the army that rights the ship and fixes this world. So I want to fix it for you and for your kids, my grandkids, and I'm not going to leave without a fight. I'm going to fix this. So yeah, I'll ask her questions, and as far as David goes, people might have asked, over the last few years, do you think he's alive? And I would just, a lot of people think you're a lunatic if you say, sure. I recall that day, with the investigation, it seemed to linger. And hard. He did survive, and something big happened behind the scenes. He was targeted. So, yeah, the my progression, and yeah, God it works in mysterious ways, and here we are. So
Yeah. So how so John, I'd like for you to just, I mean, people know who you are, but can you just explain yourself, and then that way we can get to how we can really get this out more, and how we can bring this, and we have these two gentlemen on here that know a lot more than what I know, because I'm in it, because I just know I've been through some stuff, and I can feel from within the connection that I have with you, because I aggravate John all the time. Oh, I'm sorry to call you, but this happened, and this is what's going on. And so he's really I can tell that it's been something that's been going on within, and this story wants to get out. And then reading this book, man, this book has really opened a lot. And not only does John just saying it, he backs it up with facts. Even from the song I was listening to last night that he wrote, and I played it, and I wanted to put it on something, but I wanted to wait to after today. But these two songs that were done by some major artists, and he got no credit for it. So and it's a song that was remade by one of the rappers that I've heard in the club. So John, how do you feel, and how can all of us help? Like what? And tell us about you again, because we all know, but I'm sure it's other listeners that's listening that would want to know. What is this?
Well, first of all, we got 500 views so far since we've been on. Hopefully we'll get a few thousand join here. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm on a chat call with some true patriots that are trying to make this world a better place, and I believe we can do that by sharing. Please share this live. Let's get it out. I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. My identity was stolen from me. It's still being stolen from me to this very day. People are trying to become me. My Hollywood career had been stolen. My career as an artist has been stolen. My family members were stolen from me because they were murdered and replaced. And it's so huge what I want to get out. And we can take our country back with a share and a prayer and walking with God. If we can get my story out, world, you can use me as an example. There's plenty of proof. But my goal is to make this world a better place, to get rid of the criminals, the murderers in our government that have taken over our government, the child traffickers. It is so huge. The satanic secret cults and every other thing that's running our country, and we can fix it. And we can fix it by sharing and letting everyone know John Kennedy Jr. is alive. Look what they did to John Kennedy Jr. And that is my goal. And I believe we can fix this country by letting everybody know what they did to me and my loved ones and covered it all up.
Wow. So how could
Exactly. One person can make a major difference. Dedication, and really all you gotta do is stand and hold your credibility. I mean, it's difficult. It's painful. They will attack you in every means possible to push you into directions that you might not be able to make it through. I mean, it's a very, very difficult battle to stand up against such enormous amounts of money that fights you. It's not easy.
Oh, we're up. I'm up against a huge, crime ring, and these people are at the very top. It goes to the presidents of the United States, the former presidents of the United States. That with all their money that I'm a personal witness to them stealing and their murders and their identity theft. I'm a personal eyewitness to many of it, much of it, and They can't prove me wrong because the money trail, they just don't want to follow the money trail. They don't want to follow the identity theft and all the murders because it goes all the way to the very top. And the government has been taken over. The United States government has been taken over by criminals, murderers. And that's how they make their money. And I really believe this year we're going to come out with this story. We're going to beat the media. We're going to force the media into sharing my story and the truth. I mean, it's hard. When for the past 3 days, I've been dreading just to come on and do a live chat with you guys because it brings up all the murders of my loved ones, and I see it over and over in my head and every other thing. But I have to do it. It's a must. It's our country. I'm a proud American. I love this country, and I don't want our country. Um, yeah. Anyway, it's huge what we're trying to do here and get the story out to the world, and a lot of people just don't get it. Don't understand that when I say the United States of America has been overthrown, this criminal organization, and a lot of it is part of the communist, takeover of our country, and it's huge. We should be screaming at the top of our lungs. The book I wrote was a huge achievement, but it's just part. It's just a small fraction. It's just a wake up to America. But yeah, it's so huge. When I say the United States of America has been taken over, we should all wake up and we should all act. We should all share my story. Look what they did to John Kennedy. He's a living testimony, and we can make a difference. We really can. I'm planning a motorbike ride across country. I'm planning to have thousands and thousands of people there making videos and everything. I always have big plans, but I hope this one works. I really, really do.
Yes. Happy you all.
Yeah, on September 24th, 2013, virtually every sector of our government, from our city councils all the way up, were legally identified and recognized as a 9-111.000 RICO mob organization as a criminal identity.
Yep.
Wow.
I would love to look that one. I would love to look that up sometime if you could share that with me. I was trying to write it down, but I didn't get
You
it
would
all.
have to do that personally because I was personally involved with it.
But yeah, even my story with the news media and everything else. As a child, I went to school with Sean Hannity of Fox News. He knows my story. He was gonna put my story out at one time years ago, but he took the money. He took the payment from organized crime not to share my story. So we need to wake these people up. I'm calling Sean Hannity out right now on TikTok, and I'm going to keep calling him out because I went to school with that man. He knows that John, the whole world knew that stole my identity.
Fox News in May of 2018, during a press interview, was raided and Fox News was gagged. They are not allowed to cover a lot of news.
Yeah, and that's just that's
Sarah Carter, for bringing up on Hannity's show the sealed indictments, was suspended over that.
and yeah, I'm sure my one example there is just a fraction of what's really going on in the takeover of our news media.
Yeah, we lost what we know as the MSM.
Oh, okay. So what happens, okay, I'm trying to understand. So when this all comes out, the truth, like what you're doing, John, how will it help all the people? I mean, I know it's coming out, but how can we take over, like, because it's so strong in the lies that they told and all the killings and all of that. Once this come out, what is it going to do for all of us as helping you and for us itself for not being in this again? That's what I want to know.
Well, we have to get rid of.
Use of the punishment clause.
Again?
The use of the punishment clause.
Oh.
Within our Constitution. It was never done before like this because there is a punishment clause in our Constitution for what is taking place. Could you possibly believe our forefathers went to such tyranny to give us these documents that we know of without punishment clauses attached to them, or if they break these sacred laws that were given to us? There is.
And, if we can get the story out, if we can rally in the masses and expose the criminals, but there's got to be a start, and we're the start. We're getting it out to thousands and thousands of people, but we got to have a start. We got to wake up America to the murders and the thefts and how they have the power, and we're slaves to our government. It is so concerning to me. It is so real. It is so true. My father, he wanted to expose that our government was trying to take over to make us slaves. And, I want to carry on his works. I saw a picture yesterday. I downloaded that picture of my father standing on a hood of a car with a microphone that said Kennedy for president. I'll stand on as many cars as I have to with a microphone in my hand. I'll ride my motorbike, across the East Coast. I'll do what I have to do for this country. And I'm asking each and every viewer that hears this, please share it. We need to take our country back, and it's only going to take a share. It doesn't take much time to hit that share button. Let's get some people to hear the truth and realize that we're in trouble and we need to act.
Yeah, okay, so let me say this. I know a lot of people will ask this question, and I know you've been asked this question, and I know you get sick of it just like I do. But how are the people to know that this is true? Because we've been so psyoped and MK Ultra and all these different lies. Now I know from living and being and talking to you and feeling what you've been through. So is there anything that, like, I know you mentioned proof before. Can you share or talk about that proof that you have that you are the real JFK?
Well, you got my lifetime testimony. I still got the blood in my body. I got the hair on my head for DNA. They cannot prove me wrong. And there's so much evidence. I am in all the childhood photos, all the videos up to the age of 10, but there's so much, there's handwriting evidence, there's signature evidence, and on and on and on, facial recognition, like we even talked about a DNA test, but it's really simple. I want a better America. That's what I want. And if everybody else wants a better America, and they're tired of our criminals in government being suppressed, and they wake up enough to go with the program and realize the Democratic Party, the Republican Party are controlled by organized crime. They put the member in place before you even go vote. I seen it with Barack Obama. When years before he was president, I was told he is going to be president. It's all put in place before. It's all a stage. Just like their murders, just like the murders of my father, it's all staged just like the murder of my mother and my sister and my mother's side of the family, my father's side of the family. It's so huge, but it's all pre-planned. It's all planned to take over the power. The United States of America is the most powerful organization to control, and they have the control of it now. And it's a big prize for organized crime. It's a big prize for Russia. It's a big prize for North Korea and Iran and everywhere else. China to take over and take the power away from the United States. And I've seen it, and it scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, yeah,
Because we got no place to run now.
right.
And with that said, this big controversy on the wall. I sat with the generals, and I sat with George Bush. Well, excuse me, Ronald Reagan was at the table with the generals, and the generals said, "Look, we cannot have a border wall. We have to use manpower." Because if the United States of America is invaded, if they start dropping bombs on the United States of America, there's nowhere for the Americans to go. They're going to be coming from the north. They're going to be coming from the sea. Americans, women, and children are going to be fleeing for their lives. The only escape route is right where everybody's trying to build that wall. We need to put bases up on that wall. We need to put our National Guard and everything else, and we can control it. And it ain't going to cost us any extra money to do it. They're going to be there in training and everything else. But there's so much we could do with a stroke of a pen and keep America safe. And it's really huge. It's really huge.
Wow. Well, I got some comments on here where they're actually saying that the difference with the U.S. people don't understand that there's a corporation, and the U.S. corporation out of D.C. And I've learned that, and a lot of people don't know that, and that's where they had all the crime and all the they could get away with all of that, but now it's being exposed, everything is going to stop. And then for you coming, your father was the one that wanted to stop all of that. And now there's another part, which is you. And you're speaking just like how he was talking. So that's a great thing to have and for people to really share, like you said, and talk about things. And then I have one, let me see, this is coming off of your page too. One of them saying you're handsome just like your father. So,
Yeah.
and they're saying, look at the recent map. There is no DC. I mean, it's a lot of things that we have to look at to help stop this. And as I always say, let's stop it. And I know I'm loud for that. And with the two on here, I've talked to you all before, and you all have done a lot. And actually, I don't know if it's Happy or Bob that has been in some situations like this too behind the government. Can you talk about that, similar to what John is going through or has been through?
Oh yeah, Bob has been. He can tell you about Tulsa, what the Justice Department did to us.
Yeah, we got removed from a church in Tulsa. DOJ allowed to go in, and Happy and I were there with multiple other people. We were supposed to have have an entourage, have cameramen, have a few security. I believe it was Newsmax. Camber was supposed to be with us. We got there that morning. The night before, there was a banquet, which went really pretty well. But that next day we get there, you're not on any list. We don't have you. Basically had to handwrite our lanyards. About a day and a half later, Saturday morning, they're saying we forged our credentials, our lanyards, and we want those lanyards back. And they walked us out. Alpha badge 900, and it was a county sheriff as well. Said, they said, we're removing you because there was a threat. And Happy said, well, I'm the threat. Oh, no, we've been watching you guys for a whole day. You guys are gentlemen. You So you're talking to many people. You're not a threat at all. Well, there again, why are you removing us? The agents, they increased the amount of agents. Even Ann Vandersteel was there. It was Clay Clark's first Faith and Freedom event in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He had a small event planned, and I announced that Happy and I are coming. Happy being the witness and all, and got out there on the web. The event just blossomed from a few hundred to many thousands. So they moved to Rhema Bible Church in Tulsa. So the church elders obviously had a meeting. The DOJ was allowed in. Who knows what they told them? They told them these guys are whack jobs. They're planning on doing something bad at your event. Ann Vandersteel, we told her multiple times. Hap told her, DOJ's there. She said, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. So the morning I was leaving the casino hotel where Ann was staying, I introduced her to Jason Bourne. So right when Jason got there, they pushed us outside. There's Jason sitting on the grass. One officer said he doesn't exist. The other one says that he's dead. And he goes, I can't be dead. I'm sitting right here. But that morning, after Ann got to the airport, she filmed Eric Garland's jet on the tarmac at Tulsa Airport. He was there to get a report. So, yep, I mean, we got removed from a church for doing nothing other than be peaceful people talking to patriots, informing patriots. It actually, the event reminded me of Jesus in the temple. People selling everything. There was tables selling all kinds of stuff in the church. And that's what it really reminded me of. Look what they've allowed in the church. Right. Yet we got removed from the church. Wow. Yeah,
almost 2 years ago to the date.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. That was I know Marshall Mellon is asking who is that speaking, and that was you, right, Bob?
Bob McCarthy. Yep.
Okay, and also it says here, John, are you being shadow banned? I don't know what that means. You can explain that to me, but I'm just real.
Well, you got
shadow ban means they hide you on every front. Trolls attack you, cost you accounts. You're at the bottom of any feed, and you just do not pop up, and people do not find you. Yes, we all are.
yes, 100%. You just said it all right there. I'm so shadow banned on social media. If I could, I'm on here with Ron doing a phone chat with some patriots. I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. Thank you so much for joining my channel. Please share this live, and if you tap on the screen, it'll bring more people in. And you are so appreciated. But that's what we're doing. We were having a chat, and hey, Henry, thank you so much. Hey, Henry, there's a couple people you could go up the screen and delete if you would, brother.
Yeah.
Some some of those trolls we were just talking about on here and being shadow banned, but I would appreciate that, Henry. And thank you all so much for sharing. Let's get this word out. Use me as an example. But yeah, that's what we're doing here on this live. We're having a live chat with some patriots on how we're going to fix this country for we the people.
Okay, and with that being said, Happy and Bob, how can we fix this? Like, what can you all do to contribute to help? Like we've talked in the past, how can we do it? Because I'm hearing, I'm talking. Yes,
we have to restore state rights. States need to reclaim their powers and de-power the federal government. That is the only way. We are under a federalist democratic form of government, and we are supposed to be a constitutional republic. That we are not. States control the Fed. The Fed does not control the state. Every state is its individual country with its own governor, own flag, own constitution, and own 3 branches of government. They are a country first, united under a common interest of the Constitution of the United States, forming a massive alliance of small countries.
Wow. And I know that, but a lot of people, how can they find out that information and so they can get involved too and start knowing from within how this all operates instead of we've all been, well, not, most of us been listening to what they tell us, but we need to listen to what God tell us so that we'll know. So how can they go from, to learn about this? Like, I know it's the Constitution, but what can you give them something to look at, or where can they find it? And I know from within you can
read and understand and learn your own state constitution.
Yes, okay.
Your own state constitution gives you powers against the federal government. Learn and get to know your sheriff. Your sheriff is the highest law in your county. Nobody outrules your sheriff. He was elected to be the highest law. I mean, you have countless powers that you have to learn what they are. They did not teach you how to stand up against a corrupt government. You have to learn that. And each jurisdiction is slightly different, but there's a lot of similarities. The same tactics and powers and tools are there. I mean, just like, trying to prosecute our government officials. When was the last time one was actually prosecuted?
Yeah, and with that said, people don't realize how it works in our government. I was born in the White House, and I was taught my whole life, climbing the ladder through our government, learning so much. It's basically a criminal organization, and they're not. It's not how it works. That's why I consider myself untouchable as far as being on crime. They would purposely bring me to a crime so that crime would not be investigated by our federal government.
Oh, I can highly understand that. I'm federal witness. They do similar to me. They have done.
And it's huge.
Because of the umbrella of protection.
It's huge.
They use us in terrible ways.
Yes, and I know I can say for me how I got in it because they took 2 of my special need kids and killed them, and they tried to hide it, and so many people were so upset about it. A lot of the teachers told what was going on. These were school teachers in Fulton County, Georgia, and they did this to my family, and my 2 kids. The first one they tried to cover it up. The second one, which was Aaron, I brought it out because my baby couldn't even talk or walk, and they put something around his neck and stopped his breathing, and then tried to make it seem like it didn't happen. But it did happen because I took pictures when I went in there, and I saw it, and they tried to hide it. I went to the doctors. And the doctors told me that it was at the same time that they broke his hip. Now, mind you, he couldn't talk, couldn't tell me. And so it's that inner man that was guiding me because I knew something was going on. And 11 years later, I found out. But my baby been through all of that, and he died from it. So this is why I am so into what's happening to John, because I can feel it. I feel it. I know what they do. I know I had a heart attack. I had the open heart surgery. They thought I was going to die. I'm back, and I'm still fighting, not just for my situation, but for everybody that's going through this, because it's happening right now. And that's why I'm so fired up about it. And I'm not angry. I want to go and stop this. I want people to stop and people to see what they're doing to us. My little babies, they couldn't even walk or talk. Threw them out of the wheelchair. And I only learned this from teachers telling, and then they covered it up. They tried to. But I'm a loudmouth. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing whatever the power of God within me was guiding me to do. And that's the same thing that John is doing. Nobody wants to believe it. A lot of people believes it, but it outweighs it because it's true. It's powerful. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm not afraid. I was put in a hospital with the open heart surgery under a different name, which I don't know why. Now I know from talking to John why. And so we got to do this, people. And I really appreciate Happy and Happy and Bob and Mother Susan Price for connecting all of us, because I didn't know where else to go. I meditate.
It's not easy.
No.
For your answer, what should we do at this particular time? I would have to say probably one of the most important things that we should be doing is hitting the U.S. Supreme Court hard, very hard, relentlessly, hitting them with communications to overturn the 2024 Obamacare ruling. The ruling that actually created the two-tier justice system when Congress went to the Supreme Court to get them removed from Obamacare. What that actually did was removed government officials to be outside of the jurisdiction of being punished under USC laws. It created a two-tier justice system, and they are to be ruled under rules and ethics, not code and statutes, which makes them unprosecutable and untouchable.
Yes.
That's why you're not seeing any of them prosecuted, because we can't touch them.
See, here's the thing that I'm a personal eyewitness to. I'm a personal eyewitness to know that our Supreme Court is run by organized crime. They have placed those members in organized crime to be in the Supreme Court. Justice Scalia, he was given a hot shot behind that leg of his in that hunting cabin. The organized crime within our Supreme Court. Justice Kennedy surrendering his, I don't know if they call it justiceship, to Donald Trump. It's all fixed. They put in, just like anybody else in government, organized crime puts in who they want. So we're dealing with a corrupt Supreme Court. I know that. They have committed murders to put people in place in that court. So it's rigged. Just like my sister Caroline, she's a fake. My real sister was murdered and replaced. That sister, that fake using identity theft, has been ambassador to Japan, is now an ambassador to Australia. But it's a huge example how these people are placed into our government system, and it's all corrupt. It's so huge. So I would not trust the Supreme Court. We need to abolish it. It has been overthrown by organized crime. It's not just. It's very unjust.
That's where state rights come into play, and the Madison and Randolph amendments, how to overthrow and reestablish a new government within our Constitution. It all has to go back down to state rights and the state's abilities and powers to replace the corrupt establishment.
And I hope I hope all this truth gets to every branch of the military, all the generals, all the high ups, even it needs to get out to everyone. I'm a personal eyewitness to our generals being put under MK Ultra, just like they put me under also. It's a huge weapon. It's a mind control weapon. And we need to expose the weapons that our government is using to control people, to have people do things while they sit back and don't have to take blame for murders and every other thing. It's huge, but we just like you said, we really need to to get it out and make a big change with all the states and the corruption and California. And you look at all the gun laws and every other thing. California, New York, and these other states are all run by organized crime. It's huge. So we got a lot of work to do. We got to get the truth out. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
And you know what?
Infringing upon the Bill of Rights by as a government official, the punishment clause is death.
Yes. And I wanted to say too that it's so many different ones running around. You can have 3 or 4 same people at one place and 2 at the other place because everybody's playing a part, and it's just a big mess. And I've heard you talk about it, John. Can you explain like you did in your book, like what happened? And please go get the book so you can read this for yourself on Amazon. But what happened with you when they MK Ultra? Because I've heard that they can do it like now, and they can do it like implant something. How did they do this? That's the book right there.
Yeah, it's the same way. It's basically radio waves. They do get you while you're asleep. It's like a hypnosis, but it's deep. You know, if you're familiar with hypnosis, you can put someone under hypnosis, and they don't even remember when they come out of the hypnosis, and it goes all the way to trying to somebody quit smoking, or all the way to somebody committing murders. But MK Ultra is basically a hypnosis state, and they can program you in that hypnosis state to do many different things, and just about anything. They can program you from 10 years ago to do something 10 years later. It's a very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful tool. They can program someone to commit, just like Las Vegas, many things. That's how they use to get the murderers of my father in certain places at certain times. But that's MK Ultra. It's basically a deep hypnosis state, and our government is the masters of it. These other countries have that power also. It's not just the United States that uses MK Ultra. It's Russia and China and everybody else. But it's a huge weapon. It's close to our embassy in Cuba was attacked, and they called it radio wave. But basically, it's like a gun, and you point it at somebody, and it will scramble their mind. Well, our United States embassy was attacked. You can Google it, you can look it up, but it scatterbrained the workers, our embassy workers. That was an act of war that happened. But it was hushed. It was hushed up. But the weapons that our government has to use their crimes and their corruptions is huge. It's not exposed, but people can research MK Ultra. When I was young, it was called Project Artichoke, and back then it was hush. It was hush hush. But yeah, it's basically mind control, and like I just said, my example of it is just a deep hypnosis state.
Now, I do want to say this, and this is a big question a lot of people have been asking and talking about, and you mentioned in your book. Now, I do want to say this, that I've learned from listening to a great on Simply Land, I've learned a lot about the black hats, the white hats, all this stuff. Now, the black hats had some trumps, and the white hats had some trumps. But in your book, you said you witnessed the real Donald Trump passing away. Now, can you explain that? Because that's a big kicker there. And that will get to what you're talking about, how they change people and do this and do that. But I do know that there's a black hat and a white hat. And I've heard that the white hat has taken over, and everything, the way it started is the way that it's being put back to what we're talking about right now. So can you explain what in your book?
Okay, well, about Donald Trump, I knew Donald Trump. I was told Donald Trump was my family member. I've met with Donald Trump a few times when I was younger. The Donald Trump, um, the world knew when I was younger, wanted to be a pilot. He was a ladies' man. He got the women left and right. And I'm not saying this to try to disrespect the old, Donald Trump, but Donald Trump had so many women, and I was jealous of him. And I said, "How do you get so many women?" And Donald Trump told me he had so many women he wanted to be gay. He was just plain tired of women. And that was me and my cousin talking personally in his home. Donald Trump later told me he wanted to fly his own helicopter. He was learning to be a helicopter pilot. He wanted to fly himself around and not be chauffeured around in a helicopter. When that helicopter crashed on the New Jersey Parkway, I was taken there. They were pulling bodies out of that helicopter. Donald Trump was the last one pulled off. He was the pilot of that helicopter. They pulled him out from the front of that helicopter, put him on a gurney. I saw Donald Trump. I was not allowed to touch him and physically, grab his face, but it was Donald Trump. Um, and I'm sharing that my cousin died in 1989. If people look at the handwriting and look at the face, and here's why they did that. Because they did it, they organized it probably a lot through MK Ultra and everything, but they got Donald Trump's mob bosses on that helicopter with them. They took out the whole crew right then in one crash. They took out Donald Trump. They took out his crew. They took out Donald Trump's mob right then and there. When they did that, why would they do that? Because they stepped right into his shoes. They already had somebody that looked close to Donald Trump. So when they killed Donald Trump, the real Donald Trump is now dead. That body double, that person that looked just like Donald Trump, made millions and millions and millions of dollars for organized crime. They stole every asset Donald Trump had. They stole all his family's asset. Then, after the fake became Donald Trump, they started making millions selling off my possessions, my loved ones' possessions in Trump Tower for Sotheby's auction. They made millions. They didn't stop. If the money trail was followed, you would see it's huge. But our government is so corrupt. Our government is part of that crime ring. The FBI, the Secret Service, they don't want to expose me for sharing what I'm sharing right now, but they can easily follow all the money trails and where they lead to all the other criminals involved in all this.
Okay. Oh, I think it went out.
And one thing you were talking about on some of this, on the mind control and that, just look at these mass public shooters and the kids.
Yeah.
They don't know they did it.
They don't have any idea, even
now, and they don't understand why, but they don't know what they did.
Yeah, even the shooter that shot my uncle Bobby, he had no recollection. But that's MK Ultra. You can sit somebody in a chair for a couple days and program their mind on what they are gonna do. That's MK Ultra. Then they wake up, they go, even if it's a week later or they hear about it in an event, they're already programmed. They grab a weapon, they go carry it out because they think in their head, if they don't do a certain crime, their family or their loved ones are going to die or they're saving the world. It's all what they're programmed. But that's exactly how it's done. All the way to the so-called murderers of my father. It's all a war game. It's all mind control, and yeah. Anyway, that's what MK Ultra's all about. Las Vegas shooter.
And I want to say this too. And when this happens, when I had the open heart surgery, I want to let people know. I don't know if you know this, but you are light beings. When I had the I had the open heart surgery, they took a vein out, and they put it in my heart. And so now with my leg, if I touch my leg, I can feel the electricity. So how they MK Ultra is they can program into you because you are a light being. So if you know that you are a light being, then you can go within and get to the Creator and learn all this stuff because they know and don't want us to know. That's why they stop it. But go within yourself, meditate, get connected to our Creator, and then you can stop this from within from happening to you. Now, I've done this because I just didn't know why would they do this? Who did this? Why? I'm a nosy person when it comes to something like that. And when I found out, I started meditating all the time. And you can actually go in and fix this from within, and that power will show you what to do on the outside. Now, I don't know if anybody has ever been through something that all of us have been through, but this is how they can go in and get to you and program because you are your power. And go to John's book, and he talks about a lot of this stuff in there, and it's shocking, but it's true. And he backs it up with the facts. So I encourage you to do that, and I mean, and like I said about the black hats and the white hats, now this is my thing here. I don't know, but from what I'm seeing, this Donald Trump that I see, because it was some more, but this one is really, and I'm saying this, is taking down Fulton County right now. And I don't know who's doing it, what's doing it, but whoever's doing it, they're taking down Fulton County. And these same people, same system, is the one that did this to me in my family and pretty much a lot of other special need kids here in Fulton County. So I do know from listening to Simply Lynn, and I do that every Monday through Friday on YouTube because that's where I get the truth from within, and it resonates with me. So I encourage you, get this book, Stolen Identity, and listen. Just go on YouTube and listen to Simply Lynn. Just one day, just go in and listen, and you'll see she says a lot of things that we're talking about, and this book tells you a lot too. So right now, and John is not paying me to do anything. I'm telling you because I feel it in my heart because this happened to my kids. Get the book and read it for yourself, and then go and look up the things that he's putting in there for you to see. Go to Brave search engine, and you can see everything he's talking about.
We do need a spiritual great awakening. I mean, we are fighting true evil.
Yes.
That is so true.
Yeah, someone they just said Trump is being used on both sides. That's right. Because right now, I know whoever's playing this part is taking down Fulton County. I know that because I'm all on it. And I just...
Just like your father's sailboat. Where we go one, we go all. I mean, that is a very powerful message that he had on his boat.
Yes.
With that said, you viewers on TikTok here, you can find me on YouTube. I'm starting a new channel on YouTube. I hope you'll join me and subscribe. It's at John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And then Ron and your guests there, if they can introduce themselves to all the viewers that are on live TikTok, it'd be appreciated.
That's Happy and Bob.
Where we going, Bob?
This is Bob McCarthy. Raised in the Boston area. Live in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I've been seeking answers, fighting for over a decade. And I mean, Washington, D.C. runs on its own constitution. They're not a state. They do not sign on to, like any state that was added to the Union, had to agree to the Constitution. Washington, D.C. never did. They're a corporation. They live the City of London, the Vatican. So, I mean, I believe we have both parties. We have the European Crown, Vatican, Nazis, all the same, communists, two different entities that are fighting for control. They fighting for this country. We are the last bastion of hope in the world.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
Yeah, most know me as Happy. You know, I've been known online very heavily as Happy 1911. I am the witness behind one of the biggest deaths in world history, the global warming funds, known as the green incentives and weatherization funds. I was a deep insider within the program. I got blacklisted because they didn't trust my ethics. If I found out, I would have turned them in. And it just took a couple more years longer for me to dig and find. I'm just a normal person out here that got blacklisted, attacked, lost everything, but God provided me some tools I was willing to pick up and fight.
Wow. I got some listeners too listening in, and they love what we're talking about. And John, Simply Lynn is actually listening and would like to have you on her show.
Hey,
So,
that's great. I've been so busy. Just on my TikTok alone, I have like close to 300 messages that I haven't been able to get there. Robin started helping me. But yeah, I want to do as many shows. I want to start handing out my phone number and talking to these people that want to do shows. I hate doing it because it's real heartfelt for me, reliving and talking about the murders of my loved ones and everything all day long. But it has to be done. It really has to be done. We need to share it. So I'm just going to go all out and start doing shows after shows and answering all these people's messages. And I appreciate you today, Ron, for helping me share and sharing all our stories, because we're all in this together. We really are. Our government is so corrupt. They're taking money from every angle.
yes.
Yes, and them taking the money is a crime known as high piracy on land by corrupt government official. And it is an act of war.
Yeah, it really is. Wow. It's treason. It's treason.
Under the Constitution, it's listed as the first act of war upon the United States.
And
it's piracy.
And we all need to gather together and declare that the United States government is at war from within. We really do.
I know that's right.
They are committing war crimes upon the people of our country, and are to be treated as such, as war criminals, and committing acts of war. I mean, there is no higher crime than an entrusted government official to steal funds. It's the highest crime there is.
Well, and take lives, though. Take lives is first, because my family members, they took my family members' lives, so that's right up there.
Well, it's also what do pirates do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you all for joining.
On land or by sea.
I just want to thank all these. I just want to thank all these viewers and all the new followers. We actually got 50 new followers. So I hope you followers start sharing and following all these other patriots so we can make a change for this country, because that's our main mission, is to get the truth out and help this country and get rid of the evil in this country.
Right. And man, if you're listening, I'm gonna talk to John after this and so he can get the information and y'all can set it up, and also I wanted to say that I think it's either Bob or Happy or both have actually. Didn't you tell me that one of you all have actually took some officials down? Which one?
Well, I have. I have provided for the removal of 2 governors,
wow.
2 United States Attorney Generals, countless in-state House and Senate, Sheldon Silver, There's been so many. It's not that difficult, but as long as you can provide credible first-hand information on a crime, I would advise somebody figuring out, looking for an OIG to go to and report to an OIG crimes that you are witnessing. The OIG is probably one of the most trusted branches we have at this time.
Wow. So OIG, make sure. I wish because and you know what? This comes because I know God said man perish because of the lack of knowledge. So that's why a lot of us don't really get through. But now that you're telling us this is something that we can actually do. That's why I appreciate what we're doing now, especially with all the stories. And the number one story is John, because this has been they kept this a secret, man. Woo.
If any of y'all were ever in the military and an OIG was visiting the base, they had no problem giving passes to leave the base to any enlisted men while the OIG was there, trying to remove some of us morons.
Right.
Every branch has their crayon eaters.
See, one of my problems I've had over my life is I reach out for help, whether it was child kidnapping and extortion and even murder. I've gone to the FBI where they throw up their hands and say, "Go away, we can't even talk to you." And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't talk to me? I'll take you out to a murder site and I'll dig up the grave. And all I need you to do is be there." And they were like, "Go away."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you are a person that your credibility cannot be questioned, and there are quite a few actually that their credibility is forbidden to be questioned. They abuse you, and it's so difficult to get assistance, especially trying to find an attorney when they've all been paid off by federal funds under retainers. We have no justice. We have no means of justice at this time.
Yeah, well, my credibility is I've achieved many things in my life. I was a truck driver for over 25 years. I was a truck driver instructor. I even taught truck driving school. And the students I had in that truck driving school were some of the best taught. But I have never been convicted of any crime. I have never been convicted of having mental illness of any kind. But they still throw up their hands and say, "We're not allowed to talk to you." Why? Because I'm John Kennedy Jr. I'm the real John Kennedy Jr., and the crimes committed against me by our very own Secret Service, FBI, and CIA are huge. Huge. And they're being covered up by these three-letter agencies. And I'm asking each and every American that cares about this country to use me as that example and share my book. If you read my book, share it, pass it on. Let's get it out.
And I'm telling you,
I will confirm that they will do nothing for you, and they claim their hands are tied. They do that to me all the time.
And to me,
you're right. Yeah, our hands are tied on this. You're just going to have to wait till we can get some other timing and other stuff. They'll give you excuse after excuse. You're next on the list. I have heard so many times, and next never comes.
And Colleen, the book is Stolen Identity it's on Amazon. And they told me with my son is that it was his fault because he was disabled. I'm like, wow, and if you listen to them and they explain it, it will make you think that it is your fault. But I didn't go for that because I knew it wasn't.
Exactly.
It's cunning, it's evil, it's satanic.
Oh, it's satanic at a massive level.
Yes.
What come out is to show what they did. And it needs to be on every channel, 24 hours a day. The only place you can look and see is what you see, what they did. And it's terrible. I mean, it is. And we have to pray for these men that are out here going into these places. We have some amazing patriots that y'all need to really be praying for, that they can maintain their sanity for going into the valley of shadows and death, which is pure evil. It is the rabbit hole is a place of nothing but pure evil, and people that claim, oh, they're jumping into it, you just don't jump into it because you need drug out of there. You can't just leave it. It's so hard to describe, and you can get comfortable in there so fast.
I just got a message.
It's not easy.
I just got a message from somebody to ask Robert Bobby Kennedy for help. Well, Bobby Kennedy is part of the crime ring. He's part of the problem. So asking these people for help, they're not willing to help because I'm sharing the truth. Is huge. I just had to answer that one comment. Organized crime has taken over, and it's huge, and we're exposing it. Please share my live, and let's get it out there.
And I wanted to ask Happy and Bob, I know before you mentioned that a lot of, different ones. Is there any way that John can appear on some of the mainstream that are patriots? Once they get all their information and all of that, is it a way that could happen to get his story out? Because once it hit that, it's shutdown time.
Take it away, Bob.
Oh yeah, once we have an expert who assures us that John provides him a little information, he can accurately and 100% verify him. And we've got plenty of people that are really, really interested. One of our close friends does documentaries, and him and his boss left home because of they can't file. Mark Coke, Prelude Pictures, he runs a men's ministry. That's his main goal, is to educate and get fathers to stand up and wake up and be men and lead their family again. But they make great family movies and documentaries. We've had a lot of people, that are interested in talking to us, and other people. We've had people that have lost their networks over the last 5-6 years when we did go to do a show with them purely because of who Happy is. Their equipment would burn down and this and that, but we've made great strides. We've kind of broken through it a little bit, but we definitely, like I said, I have people would ask me, and if I didn't know you well, I just think, they'd ask me about John F. Kennedy Jr. and maybe he's alive. In my heart, I believe he survived. It was way too long. What happened down there was way too long. And I'm from Boston, Woburn, Mass. Walked in the trails where Patriots, Sons of Liberty is walking. It didn't smell right. What happened? I have one very close friend up here. She wanted me to ask you, did you take your dog with you on the plane?
No.
John.
No. I didn't take I actually acquired Little Bandit from a gal that was basically homeless, and she kind of just dropped him off, and I've been his buddy since.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I drove truck for like 25 years, and I never had a pet on the truck with me.
Yeah, sure. Now,
off the air, when we get off and we don't hang up after we finish this live, if you all and I stop the recording, wanted you to know if you all can exchange information so you all can take it from there. And also, I've seen where people asking, "Are you married?" I mean, you know that kind of stuff. That's you. They want to know. They want. So you can answer that.
So you got the. I already know your answer now.
Actually,
Be quiet.
Actually, I hooked up with one of my great supporters a few months ago, Rockin' Robin, that's on here, and she has been wonderful. And I had a vision in my head, me and Rockin' Robin being on the East Coast at Arlington with thousands and thousands and thousands of supporters there. So yeah, I'm taking right now, and hopefully for the rest of my life.
Congratulations.
That's great. That's great. And also another thing I don't want to forget about. I think it's either Happy. I'm sorry, it's Jay. It's Happy or Bob about the getting someone to do a book for them. So we'll talk about that after. I just want to put it out there so we won't forget. But that's great. So thank you, Rockin' Robin. I think I kind of like went back and forth with her too. She's a great person on TikTok. So thank you for doing a lot and helping with this story.
If I can say something, Jackie Goldman helped me write my book. I could have never done it without her. We actually did it over a chat just like this. I just kept telling her story. So if there's anybody that has a story that wants to get it out, go to my Amazon and go to my profile page on Amazon. You'll see Jackie there.
It's not a valid menu option.
Oh,
I think it went out. Okay.
Oh. But yeah, go to Amazon and check me out on Amazon. Jackie Goldman is the writer of my book along with me, and she'd be happy to hear your story and maybe write a book for you. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. She's a ghostwriter out of New York. But you guys were talking the last time we talked about DNA and having someone do that DNA. I have taken 4 DNA tests. I'm waiting on the 4th to come back. We purchased a DNA sample of my father and my mother. It's certified DNA hair sample from them. I would love to do that secretly, so we can talk about that off the air. But yeah, I'll take as many DNA tests as I have to. I got a P.O. box number on my top of my TikTok. Write me a letter. I might even send you some DNA and you can play with it all you want to. I get asked, it's so aggravating. I get asked for DNA each and every single day, comment after comment. And I've answered, a couple hundred DNA comments, and it just gets old. I just posted.
We're not taking your DNA.
I just posted one of my DNA samples. I pinned it to my. It's a video. It looks like a world map. So if you go to my TikTok here, and you'll see I publicly released my DNA results, and they're pinned on my TikTok. But anyway, yeah, you can check them out there. I think I'm done answering all these DNA questions, from all the chats and everything. I posted it, but yeah, I'll take as many as it is necessary. However, to prove myself to the world, there's so much proof otherwise than DNA. So much proof otherwise, but we're gonna test the President of the United States DNA and compare it to mine.
It keeps going out, but I think we can. You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if there's nothing else, we could go ahead and really go off live, and then you all can talk and really bring this out because it needs to be all over. not just in the USA, but everywhere, because everybody knows JFK Sr. And then and the junior is still here. Oh, that's big noise. So I would like to end it on. Thank you all for listening and being on Real Issues with Ron Anthony, and also live on David, aka JFK Jr. TikTok live. So thank you all and appreciate everybody. And please go and check. Can you put that book up again, please, so they can see it, because they want to know the name of it, and it's on Amazon. Stolen Identity, and I did read it, and I bought it because I wanted to know, all the things that happened that he talked about. So it's Stolen Identity on Amazon, and make sure you go and get that. Get it now, right now, because it's a great read. He's not paying me to do this. As I said, I'm doing it because I've been broken, and I need to talk to Jackie Goldman so I can get my book out about what happened to my family and what they did to my son Aaron and Elijah in Fulton County, Georgia. So thank you, John. Thank you, Bob and Happy, for being on here and on this live on John's TikTok. And I feel so great just to know that I'm actually, me of all people, talking to the real John F. Kennedy right here live on his page and also on Real Issues. So with that said, anything else you all want to say before we go?
Yeah.
Just God bless America. Oh, sorry. God bless America, and please pray for the brave men and patriots, men and women who are standing and fighting in the shadows, trying to protect this place we call home.
I just saw King Smarty show up on the chat. Love you so much, brother. Check out King Smarty, smartiescorner.com. Check it out. Wonderful, great guy. Appreciate it.
And Henry too. I saw him peeping in.
Oh, Henry's awesome. He's been shutting up some of these haters.
Yeah. Simply Lynn, I saw you too. It's great to know this, man. And and also
number 5. I'm a Marine. Once a Marine, always Marine. First, the duty of a Marine is to identify and apprehend all pirates and recover all lost and stolen properties of the United States of America. All properties and treasures. You know what our greatest treasure is? Our vote. Think about that. You can find me, Bob McCarthy, on Twitter. Robert McCarthy on Facebook. I'm the president of the New Hampshire chapter of Born to Ride for 45. Also known as the Ducks. Happy is known as the Seventh Dwarf, so I am an assistant to the Seventh Dwarf. Quack, quack.
Hey, thank you for your service, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you still keeping with it.
Thank you. And also, you can find me, Ron Anthony. I am a gifted vocalist from God, in God, and I am an advocate for the special needs and elderly, and also for stories like this. Real Issues Radio. Go to my YouTube, RAHN With that, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, X, and all of the other. And please go on and listen to the songs, because it's not for me, it's for all of us, because the words come from within that I write, and God give it to me. So thank you all, and I appreciate it. And please pray for me as I go through this with my son, and I'm still going through this battle that's been over years, and that we shut all this stuff down.
And with that said, I am going to repost this. Do my best to try to repost this on my TikTok. That's at John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. So I will be sharing our live that we just had. Much love, much respect. Thank you all for your prayers, your loves, and your likes and your sharing. Let's make America a better place, and we're doing whatever we can do to do it.
All right. Well, thank you all. And as they said, somebody said God wins, and that's it.
God wins.
We're out of here. Is it another one?
Mhm.
This is Ron Anthony, Real Issues. Thank you. I'm in Atlanta. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, we're out of here.
Peace, everybody. Thank you. Much love.
Yeah, thanks. Pleasure speaking with y'all again.